It's all about building partnerships, and that's why I'm running for mayor. I have over 3 decades experience in building partnerships in the government entities, as mayor, as a legislative leader and consultant in Jackson, and as a businessman. During this time, I have met people from all walks of life, all the way from Jackson to Washington, and we've got to reach out to them, and this has to not be the best kept secret, but the best told story and the best sold story. We must promote Natchez. We have Natchez Renewal, met with them just last week, a $10 million project just completed and no one knows about it. In addition to that, we have an airport about to embark upon a $7 million renovation of its runways, and yet we aren't talking about it. We have the port. We are less than 1 hour from every major interstate in our region. We aren't talking about it. It is time to talk about it. It's time to promote it. And I will use all of the contacts I have amassed in all these years of service to put Natchez back on the map and put Natchez back to work. You know, I've enjoyed for 14 years, I'm in my 14th year, being the director of the Mississippi Association of Self-Insurers. We represent large employers all over the state and some from all over the country on work comp issues, health issues. We put on great events. I've enjoyed it. It's been a fantastic job to network, to build contacts, and I cannot wait to go to work for Natchez. You know, we've already been working on it. We understand that right now we're in the midst of a pandemic, and most likely we have the highest record of unemployment in our community since the Great Depression. We already were in a problem before. We are definitely in a problem now. I've already been working with people I know in Jackson. Just last week, talking to a ranking member of the Senate Appropriations Committee, Walter Michelle, about how we can get our share of that $1.25 billion that has been appropriated for stimulus money. I also talked to a ranking member of the House Appropriations Committee. I've been talking to the chairman. I've been talking not only to people in Jackson, but also people in Washington. I reached out to my good friend Brady Stewart. For many years we've been friends. He is the regional director for our Congressman Michael Guest. This is what I'm telling them, and people in our senator's office as well. We need help in Natchez, and we will do whatever we can to get that help here and rebuild our economy. Tourism is fantastic for Natchez, and yes, we will do everything we can to help tourism recover. Let me say, I said earlier, we got to get beyond the best kept secret, the best told story. We got to get beyond that, the best sold story, and it has to be the complete story. We see in Natchez a potential that we could have all kind of tourism here, not seeing just the pillared mansion, but seeing where we were then to where we are now. It is a fantastic story, a story that needs to be told, a story of progress, a story of challenges yet to be conquered, but yet a story, a great story that must be told. We must build a smart and a safe city, and this hits to the core of who I am. You see, when I was in high school, my father was shot and mugged. Praise the Lord, my father, a U.S. veteran of World War II, a survivor of the Battle of the Bulge, did not die at the hands of that assailant, but rather lived to the age of 90. I know what it means for crime to hit your family. Crime has hit too many families here in Natchez. And today, even as we speak, we have those parents of young women, young men who were taken down too soon. The answer is this. Number one, we must solve crime. That's why a few weeks ago I made a trip to the crime lab to use the connections I have at the state level to get a 14-month-old murder case, the evidence returned to Natchez. I will do whatever it takes. Number two, we have got to make sure the penalties are there to fit the crime. If someone does murder, well, they need to spend the rest of their life in jail. And in addition to that, economic development, opportunities for our young people. I'm very grateful that we have Sevilla Fortenberry, and she is doing the best she can to get the books right in Natchez. But this is where experience counts. In fact, over 20 years ago, when I was just a kid mayor, the youngest mayor in Mississippi at that time, I saw the city's business as the important business. I worked hand in hand with our city clerk, Linda Caston. Linda's now retired, lives just a few blocks from City Hall, just over the way here off of Washington Street. Ask Linda, if you know Linda, ask Linda, who was our city clerk, how we trimmed spending, how we controlled the size of government, how we managed to, without raising taxes, balance the budget, and how we stayed up countless nights, even past midnight, and did whatever it took as a team to balance the budget. And my last year in office, we left a 20% budget surplus. You know, the fact that we've been asked this question goes at the heart of what's behind the One Board movement. And we can't really discuss what will happen there. It's not up to us to decide. That would take a legislative action, and who can say when or if that would ever happen. But what I know is we do have a lot of citizens concerned, and they have signed on to a petition to do away with city government. What that is a report card on city government, and we're getting an F. In the eyes of a lot of our citizens, we're getting an F. Well, we've got to change that. And I'm not saying anything against our current administration, and I know work's being done to change that. We have to be good stewards. We will be transparent. We will tighten the budget, and we will make sure that citizens know how their money is spent, that it is spent in public, and that there aren't any deals under the table. This is a race for the future of Natchez, and I believe that we must take it very seriously. We have a very important vote to make next week, and folks, do not stay home. We are here celebrating the freedoms that were won for us on the lives of so many who have gone before us. If you don't vote, then you don't have a voice in the future of your city, and our city's future is at stake here. You see, we are in the midst of a pandemic, but we will come through this. Natchez has survived every challenge in our over 300 years, and we will survive this. But we will survive it by working together, by being one community, a community not torn by black, white, Republican, Democrat, conservative, liberal, all of those terms that have been used for so long to divide us. But no, we will be together as Natchezians. And I look forward to using all these decades of service and experience, all of the friends I have made from Jackson to Washington, both Republican and Democrat, both black and white, of all walks of life, men and women, and I count them my colleagues, and I cannot wait to work with them to tell the Natchez story and to make sure we're selling the Natchez story. We've got to build job training. We've got to get medical economic development going, and we must renew the recreational programs for our young people. If we don't invest in our young people today, we will pay the price later. And so, I look forward. I'm excited because June 2nd marks the beginning of a new era for Natchez, and I want to lead us in that new era. Thank you. May God bless you. May God bless Natchez.